So this is a new list that just has 5 integers in it from 1 to 5. And it doesn't have to be a list, it could be an array or any collection in C# because collections implement IEnumerable. So that's the minimum requirement that we need here. As long as whatever you're dealing with implements IEnumerable, you can use LINQ on it. So to see what this would look like without LINQ, I have an example from 13 to 17 here that shows creating a new list. And because we're mapping things, what I want to show you is going from a list of integers to a list of strings. And what that would require us to do is have this new list that I declare on line 13 called numbers as strings. And what we're going to do is go with this for each loop where we take each number from numbers and then we call toString on it right here on line 16. And for each one of those, we're going to add it into the list of strings that we've just created. So at the end of running this loop, what we'd have inside of numbers as strings is 1 to 5, but as strings instead. So this is how much code you would need to go write to be able to do this. Or what you could do is use the select LINQ method, which I have here shown from line 20 to 22. And what I've done as well is split out this code across multiple lines because to me this is more readable instead of having one really long line of code, which you can have happen pretty easily when you're chaining some LINQ things together. I like stacking it vertically. And this is a pro tip because when you're working in code bases that have really wide lines of code, especially if you have to use a scroll bar to go left to right, it can make things really difficult to read. And if you don't believe me, spend some more time writing code and try seeing the difference when you have to scan really long lines left to right in many lines of code. So what we have on line 20 is we take numbers and then we call the select method. And this is a LINQ method that we have. If you haven't seen this arrow syntax or it seems a little bit confusing, what we're doing is saying that this is going to be a variable called number, and this is just like when we have this for each loop where we say int number. It's the same concept. We're just giving a name to the element that we're using on each iteration of essentially a for each loop. And then like you can see here, I have number to string, which is just like this part as well. But the difference is that when I'm calling this select method, I'm not putting it into a list like we have on line 16 here. I'm not doing this part. We don't see any of that here. But what I do to put it into a list is at the end, after we call select, I say toList.